Right, we're back. Sorry about that. The internet just hard fucking died. I called it. I saw it start in the starter and I was like, oh, that just kind of went. And then lo and behold. Let's carry on.
What can you tell us about the scions of the canopy?
The tribespeople are very adventurous.
Oh, kinda like us then.
I'm not so sure. You don't strike me as the type to enjoy danger. The scions of the canopy are a bunch of thrill seekers.
But we're back. Sorry about that.
They love extreme sports
Mumble
like
grumble,
rock
mumble grumble.
rappelling, volcano parkour, or even bungee jumping without a rope while a Yunkasaur stands at the edge and uses its tongue to catch them. Sound like something you'd be interested in?
Okay, that does sound different from our usual adventures. Paimon's not doing any of that. She can just cheer you on from the sidelines.
I mean, we already did the run up over here, but yeah, sure.
That's Waina,
Fucking
tribal chief. Let's head over to him. Take it easy.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Waina. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Friend is tragic, but when that happens, the best thing you can do is focus on how to prevent further casualties.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Waina. But if the price of maturity is abandoning
we'll
a
try.
friend in need, I'll choose
It is a little
foolishness any
stuttery
day.
though. If it goes again,
If
I'll just have to
Kachina's
call it
still
quits.
holding on, then so will I.
I've had it good for too long, the internet. It worked for too long. We had like a good few weeks of it having no problems whatsoever, and now it's just fucking over.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Waina? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your mantra.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts, so we slowly got to know each other that way. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Queetry? Oh, interesting.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Waina, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts, and the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming downstream. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river, but the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman experienced enough to steer it in the right direction.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna want him on the boat.
I'm just going to wait for a second because my internet's flashing at me, and I'm expecting it to kind of potentially dip in a second. So I'm just going to give it a second to see. Oh, come on, we've done so well. We've had a good few weeks where it's been relatively consistent. The only time we've had to like restart our streams because the game straight up fucking crashed at one point. I think that was during Zenless. It crashed at one point. Okay, it's back. It's back.
Bichama? Why does that name sound familiar?
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way, and I'm sure you'll find him.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Go look for them. So whilst we're here, I don't think we've done anything else rep-wise, but we can have a look. Oh, we're 1% off? Come on. Yeah, and Kenichi's deal we can't do until he becomes playable, and we haven't found Ripe for Trouble yet.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah! That must be him! Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something?
We explain.
What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
Why? Was he not that great?
We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must be a genius. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible, an ancient name.
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you needed?
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes, but I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so maybe you can try your luck there.
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you. That means you're trustworthy.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so No need to rush. I'll see you in a bit.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the preparations for now. Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you.
Make preparations to seek the ancient name. Hi, you have a shop? You sell things that we might need?
Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock
Her voice say this, but think the goddess for Pippin? Oh, why? What'd she do?
How much for your whole stock?
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would be 30,000 mora in total. Deal?
Deal.
Wait, really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roka's the person you want to ask. All right, that's everything.
He talks
Here you
Ibfree out of his... Oh, fair
Now
enough.
we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Vichama mentioned.
Hi.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though? We actually need two.
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes over here and we'll see what we can find.
Thank you so much. We'll wait here.
Fair enough. I'm just reading your comments.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this chunk of obsidian isn't the only one. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready in a heartbeat.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does it look?
Perfect! Thank you. How much do I owe you?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 mora for both. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama just now. You running an errand for him?
His basis, Pippin will hail the name. Also, Ethel's adorable. Yeah, Ethel's always cool.
Malco's been gone for 5
When she actually
years
talks.
now.
That's the one that always goes,
It's
kill,
about
kill,
time
kill.
we
Or am I thinking of a
started
different
to
one?
move forward.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Vichama and Malco grew up together, and even made a name for themselves together. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battlefield. The two made an excellent team, and managed to beat back the Abyss several times. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage, and were placed on the same team to fight the Abyss. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury to his leg while attempting to rescue someone.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. The team made an error in judgment, and they fell to the onslaught. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything.
It was an impossible situation.
Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. But the shadow of Malco's death hangs over him still. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish there was something he could do to make himself feel better. But... anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk things through sometime. I would really appreciate it.
Alright, let's go chat with him again. Yo. Okay, how'd you get here so quick? Oh, you know.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor.
Could I ask a question? Like, literally means like, hi, me here.
Go ahead.
Are you seeking your friend's ancient name for the same reason as us?
Yes. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malco might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malco and I promised each other, even if we never managed to root out the Abyss for good, we would fight together until the end. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area, please collect them. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The Abyss will likely emerge in response.
Alright, get ready for a fight then.
It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Okay, so far so good. I'm waiting for like a bunch of demons to just creep out from the world.
Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone!
There they are.
Overrule.
Here comes the catch.
No point of irritation to refrain calling me.
Not long. We're getting close.
That's not the character I wanted. Come on, dude, you can do it. Setting up the mysteries of Hooded Man, but the context clues make it pretty apparent early on. Oh, right, yeah, that's always unfortunate. I mean, you always have to be careful, because you want to keep people guessing, but you don't want to make it a complete nothingness. But if you lean too far one way, they have nothing and it comes out of nowhere. If you lean too far the other way, it becomes too obvious.
I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Oh, this guy's not going to make it, I can already tell.
The power of the Abyss is getting stronger.
He's going to go too deep and get lost in the void. I can already tell where this is going.
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there.
Fine, I'll help. Oh, mashing!
This power.
This can't be good for us, by the way, absorbing this much abyss. It's just as hell.
Hanging in there?
We're running out of time.
Go. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seawally.
She's gonna break it.
Get back!
Chaska, wait!
He's the guy whose emotions affection are rejected upon flowing grace. They don't have emotion. Oh, right. So he's like Organization Fame from Kingdom Hearts. We don't have hearts. And then every 2 seconds they're proving they do.
Just now, it looked like the spirit speaker's stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were this close to getting dragged into the explosion.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait, where's Vichama?
He basically is the only one who doesn't have any emotions. He seems animated and lively, but he's putting on the front. Oh.
Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malko's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but still. And now... it's too late to save him. From the minute he left that day, it was already too late.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama? It looks like something's glowing.
Huh? This is...
Oh, he's one of the most twisted villains Compile's come up with. Oh, fair enough.
Hey, Malko. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words? Sure.
Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. It's just... hard. Thinking about my mom's face when she hears the news.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for goodbyes. Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. But just in case, Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Shut up, Paimon. Now's not the time.
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Feeling any better?
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain? Why?
Malko was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking, and his smile was forced. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life, he was thinking the same thing.
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Waina wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to danger. But I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life, but not everyone gets the chance to make up for them. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning.
A more courageous way?
If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so I hope you can walk away without regrets.
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I'll make sure of it. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear. Strange. My body, it's...
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to her, though, you are only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check.
So she knows more than she lets on about the whole purification process to begin with. It's not just our magic trinket, it's an ability that people can have.
Huh. That does make me feel better. You seem very knowledgeable about all this.
Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Waina the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no choice, though, so he'll probably understand. Right?
We're gonna get back then, he's just gonna kick our asses. You'll probably understand, right? You did what?
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Waina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you.
Also, this is the little sister.
They're back.
This is the little sister we heard about. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Chaska's little sister.
Don't play
Oh,
dumb
she's
with
kind of
your
cute.
own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Oh, you're gonna get cussed out by your sister. Alright.
Who was that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story.
I feel that there's more to the story.
It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo sores. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
It's like, well, alright, out with it. What? Well, no. Explain yourself. Oh.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is. And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything.
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous. Oh, it's like he didn't even try.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my duty to say something.
Oh, I'm loving this dynamic. And one of them was like, hey, look, I fucking care about you. Stop doing dangerous shit. And he's like, I'm going to keep doing dangerous shit. You can't stop me. It's like, no! See what he meant by... I mean, it was twisted. I was ready to watch story parts. This is my favourite. Fair enough. I probably won't, but I appreciate it anyway. I'm just a negative interest in the game, really. It's just... I have my fun with normal Fairy Fencer. I'm good. They're sisters!
Alright, whatever. Anything else?
What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done and promise me you'll stay put?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave her there to die. That's not who I am.
She's by the right about him? Oh, fair enough.
You become when you lose control. That's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is she just saying, hey, look, I know this is going to end up in a fight, so let's just stop it here? Bruh.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to listen to their elders.
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say? I'm supposed to be your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so darn annoying?
We were just all there.
Or something else.
We were just all there, just watching, like, oh man, that's wild.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
About that...
If only Tone Deaf Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
We're bringing up Venti now?
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh?
Hey, so we got a little lost in the sauce and we had to break it. Sorry.
I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the night.
I hope we can meet
okay?
Citlali.
I'll
They keep
wait
on
here
mentioning
for your
her, and I'm
safe
like, no,
return.
don't make her 5.1 when we first meet her. Let us go meet the shy one. And a power of QTEs, yeah. Bring the ancient name back to Mavoika. Hey Mavoika, hey Jansen.
We found Kachina's ancient name too!
What happened at the stadium?
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
And she just goes, Captain shown, we fought. Tai, he's around. Oof. You know, the Pyro's Archon's battle against the Captain, as well as her sacrifice.
Again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
Paimon, you say that like we didn't already know. Neurvalette literally told us that Capitano was in Natlan. Like a year ago. The fuck do you mean?
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret.
And also,
No
yeah, for
one
anyone
else
who
can
missed
know,
it,
or we're
to
asking
keep the
for
fire alight so we could try and keep on saving people, Mavoika basically gave up her power. So
Look,
she's as human as you
wish
or I
could
right now.
offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting about the situation we're facing. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal. You can leave the complicated matters to me.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm
Well
sorry
then, I
about
wonder what would happen if she were taken down
so
right
much
now.
on your
Well, technically,
So
the
much
whole
that you
rule
have
of
to
the thing,
worry
if you
about.
beat her in a fight, you
All I
replace
have
the
to do is
Archon.
focus on my own feelings.
So that's why we're kind of keeping it on the
You
hush-hush.
have Nothing to be sorry about.
We just gotta make sure they don't find out, because if they do, we're in fucking trouble. If Capitano comes back, it's like, I'm ready for round 2. We're in trouble.
I understand that feeling very
Which also, you have to keep in mind, in terms of power scaling, we lost to Arlecchino, and Arlecchino's the 4th strongest Harbinger. Captain is number 1. So, if he does show up and fight, even if all of us team up together, very good chance we won't fucking win. Keep in mind as well, I mentioned it during the fight, La Signora died in 1 hit fighting against an Archon. Capitano went toe-to-toe with an Archon, and it led to a tie. He's, like, the world's strongest human. Motherfucker held his own against a god. Pure physical? It didn't seem like it. It was like he had like this weird, like, white fire energy. But that could also be because he's Natlan native, and every Natlan native gets like an energy glow around them when they're fighting. Like Mualani gets like the rainbow blue. You know, we get like the yellow with Kachina, etc. We get the green with Kinich. That could just be like, you know, the Natlan native glow kicking in. His sword also looked kind of cryo, but that was also the white energy, so it's hard to tell right now. I think that's one of those things we just have to wait until he's playable to really find out. Because, like, the white glow made it seem more ice, but that could also just be the white glow that he has, you know? Like, it's hard to say. But the point is, yeah, he held his fucking own against the goddess. So, he's a threat. He's a threat to be acknowledged. Besides antagonist, I suppose.
Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Oh, is this like your personal study?
Good eye.
Oh, is this your storage room?
I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe.
My only hope is that when Capitano eventually becomes playable, assuming he does, he keeps the coat. He looks sick without the coat, don't get me wrong, but I think like the coat is too iconic. Like, it's just this giant fucking robe that makes him seem like twice as big as he already is. I get why you're saying that, because he's replaced Rivesley as the tallest male character in Genshin. And it's not even like by like an inch. It's by like 6 or 7 inches. Like, Capitano is a tall motherfucker. He's like 6'9". Like, he's tall as shit. Like, someone did like the model comparisons of Capitano compared to all the other like super tall male models, and like he is like tall. Like, he is a lanky bitch. But like the robe, like he has like the giant like black robe coat thing, it just makes him look even bigger than he already is. I'm like, no, please keep the coat when he's playable, please. I'll get it if they don't, because like that's like battle gear. Of course he loses the coat when he's fighting. But please, if there's any god.
Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around.
But considering he's number 1 of the Harbingers, there is a little bit of it that's like, he might not be, because where do we go from there if he becomes playable? You know? Oh, let's just go backwards and give characters that are canonically weaker than him playable. Yeah, that sounds smart. No, the next one logically should be Columbina. Because Columbina's number 3. No, she's number 2. Dottore number 3, I think. No, Dottore is number 2. I'm trying to remember what it said in Sumeru. She's not. I think she's either number 3 or number 2. But the point is, logically, if they want to keep it like growing in strength, she should be the next one playable.
If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
I think Arakino is stronger and just hides her full power. Maybe. I mean, we still have that long-lasting theory, because she is directly tied to the Crimson Moon, and the Crimson Moon has, like, been this overarching background thread of, like, what is it, and why is it watching over us? You know, I have my theory that she's going to be, maybe not the final boss, but up there. Because she has relations to the Moon Sisters.
Alright, we'll have a
Either as a descendant, or is just one of them, but I think it might be more the former, that she's just a descendant. Especially because we learned that she's, like, in her late 20s/early 30s, and not, oh, you know, like, 50,000 years old.
Make sure to handle everything with care. This cup, for example, it's heavier than it looks.
40 was like, excuse me, yeah. Oh yeah, my Arlie is easily my strongest character now, and it's like, wow, it's kind of wild. I put so much effort into all these other characters, and like I kind of just like worked on Arlie for like 2 to 3ish days, and now she's like, she became unstoppable. The only thing that's challenged her has been like the special fights that are in Natlan.
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of strength. This belt is a symbol of great honor within the tribe. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. It was difficult for even 2 people to lift. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still leave them gasping for breath.
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance but far lighter in weight. That is the belt you see before you. He would often wear this version when training in order to protect his waist.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time and show it off.
Now, I'm not going to go talk to Mavoika right now. I want to see what all the dialogues I can get from checking all the things around Mavoika's room.
Anything to do with alchemy?
Alchemy?
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the ability
they were talking about it. Capitano used the abilities of the Masters of the Nightwind during the fight. Which is what started the debate of maybe there's a traitor. Mavoika doesn't seem to think so. She thinks there's something else that causes it. And if I am honest with you, I think the other reason is just that he's a Natlan native. I don't think that there's some traitor within the Nightwind. I think he was a native Nightwind tribes person when he was a kid. And so he just has access to those powers.
Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. Even though she appears stoic and serious, she actually has a keen sense of humor. The tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated, so she passed them on to me. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle. That's what she really wanted to give me.
Ooh, must be something really cool. What's inside?
The contrast of having both of these characters in shot is wild. Like, you know, all the bright colours and it's this little cutesy thing, and then all the dark and sharp colours and it's this very mature, powerful thing. It's like, alright. Like, the contrast between these ladies is wild.
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably expired by now.
Okay, what else? Okay, we know about the talisman.
This flower looks like it's thriving. You must be good at taking care of plants, Archon.
This fishing basket looks familiar.
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people of the springs.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. I have his entire set of fishing equipment, actually.
This room is literally just like a mini museum, and she has all this trivia about everything. She's a little button you press on the museum that like plays the audio explaining what it is.
He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish and his meticulous plan to catch it. In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit. To him, the sea was the battlefield upon which he staked his honor.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch? That's what he asked me in the end.
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more valuable than the prize itself. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Oh, we should go fishing together at some point.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
Oh, we're on the same brain. I want to see her fishing. That'd be fun. So we know about the talisman, but I'll click it anyway.
This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The talisman brought her a lot of luck in battle.
Oh, that's it? I thought he was going to tell me a story about like how you two knew each other so long. What's this weapon?
Whoa, this weapon is huge! Which tribe did it belong to?
Ah, that weapon belonged to Tenoch, a hero from 500 years ago. Strictly speaking, he didn't belong to any single tribe.
I've just seen something more interesting. There's a photo on the desk, and it looked like a family photo. Considering the nature of how Archons are picked, Mavoika having a family photo makes sense. She does have, like, parents and siblings somewhere out there.
He believed
I think the only other Archon to have a sibling, or, like, have family that we know of is, you know, Raiden Shogun. Because of her twin sister.
And there was no one more courageous or resolute than him. He united the 6 tribes and accomplished great feats throughout the war. Ultimately, he perished. And because he had already lost his ancient name, the Ode of Resurrection was unable to bring him back. And so, he was laid to rest, alongside the countless warriors and civilians who lost their lives, buried in the soil of his native land.
Wow, he sounds like a true hero.
Indeed. Even now, his story is told throughout the land.
I want to see if I can have a look. I hope you don't mind me sitting in your chair. And she's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, look, she actually has... Okay, it looks like she has 2 pets, a little sister, and parents. I know it's such an odd thing to, like, take note of, but it's cute. It's an Archon with a family. That doesn't happen.
The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah! If each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really been through a lot. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
Oh, I know this. It's called a singularity.
Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation was the most important.
I'd have to say all of them.
Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
Yeah, the loom of fate.
That does kinda
It's literally been around since, like, chapter 1, since the prologue.
But already exists.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight.
I want to have a better look at those 3. Those 3 there, I think, are the tribes that we don't have access to yet. One, like the one on the far left, looks like a ghost. The one in the middle looks like horns. And the one on the right, that looks like a bird. That looks like a phoenix. Like with its wings up above its head.
To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine.
So the first Pyro Archon created the rules of Natlan.
That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan, namely a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us, And when that person ascends to the divine throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Alright, Paimon, only just noticed.
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised.
Aww. That's cute. Even Mavoika was just an average redhead teenager at one point. I like how the mum has the same, like, fire flare in her hair that Mavoika has. Whilst her little sister seems to take more from her father.
I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Yeah, like, oh wow, you're really just kind of a normal person beyond this, aren't you? Wait, can I say that? You just did.
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes!
It's alright. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and we would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot.
Indicate you don't say.
My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
You forgave him like that?
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
Uh-oh. I feel like every time a question like that is asked, it's because the answer is, well, they're not around anymore.
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist.
I was worried for a second. I thought she was going to say that she was gone.
Crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin.
Alright, let's bring back a goofy little kid.
Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again? Kachina, are you okay? Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again? It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back. Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Waifu is being affected by the Abyss.
Oh! Oh, okay, now that makes sense.
I was waiting for the Y-up to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Y-up saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing really horrible things.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition you deserve.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
Oh, you really know your own people. You're like, oh, did you argue with your sister again? Sorry, God.
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Hi. Like, before I go, hang on. Whoa, whoa, too much. Oh, come on. Now we can go. Sorry, now we can go. Don't get stuck on things, please, Yelan. Uh-oh. I was like, hey, my input lagged, and I looked at the top right, and then I saw why. You know, I might call it here, just because I don't trust the internet to hold for, like, however long this is. And this is a good stopping point, I think. We're like, you know, we've got to go in and go save her. Dun dun dun. I think this is a good stopping point. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here because I don't trust that internet to maintain. I don't know why it's being so bad today. But I digress. Let's go to somewhere that's good to stop. There we go. Oh, actually, whilst I just realized I should probably check. Can I actually use these as warps? Oh, you can. Oh, okay. So I guess I don't need that anymore because that's technically our warp then. I didn't even think you could do that because you usually can't. You can just warp straight to these. Okay. Yeah, I'll call it here. As always, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for like the issues with the internet. I don't know why it's being so weird, but I just don't want it to go during like an important moment, which is why I'm not right now. But we'll be back tomorrow to try... I'm not going to rush, obviously, but I'm going to try and finish everything to do with Genshin 5.0 tomorrow. So do Act 2, do the Moalani quest here, make more progress in the world quest up here, things like that. And if not, we'll definitely will do on Sunday, but Sunday should be a shorter one. But I digress. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps the channel grow. Additionally, you can find my Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal in the description of every single video. Till then, you guys take care now.